Welcome to Faith, Fiction, and Folklore, or as we like to call it, the Triad Podcast, where we try not to have the podcast up. And today, we're going to do a read-through of Genesis. Yeah, Trevor, you kick it off, and you guys converse amongst yourselves until I can get the stream up. Yes, we are on Genesis, chapter 10.
Verse, King James Version, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Verse 1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madai, and Javan, and Tubai, and Meshech, and Tiras. And the sons of Gom, Ashkenaz, and Rephath. Forgive me for all the, if I read them wrong, the names. And Togar, Ma. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim.
Hey, hold up, Trev. Is it listing off bloodlines?
It sounds like it.
Because it says Ashkenaz. I know that's a bloodline.
Yeah, bloodlines and the sons. They're the sons of Noah.
Interesting. I wonder if anybody's ever gone through it, like decoded which peoples those are.
Yeah, I don't know, but these, if you can imagine, I imagine all these sons and stuff are, they go out amongst the different tribes and all over the place. I wouldn't imagine they would have just stuck around.
You could find other accounts through history, though. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, we should look into that. See if we could do a deep dive, see where each son went. Like, one that went out east and one went, closer to Egypt or something.
Sure.
Verse 5. By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families in their nations. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Phut, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Supta, and Ramah, and Sabrachah, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. And Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one in the earth. So talking about Nimrod, he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod the mighty hunter before the Lord.
Yes. So I actually have a point on the Nimrod line. So Nimrod is actually means hunter of men, and they say that Nimrod was actually the leader of the whole Tower of Babel incident, from what I've heard. And
really?
Yeah, and that is the Nimrod thing, and the Tower of Babel is actually the first instance of a one-world government. The rise and fall of a one-world government. Did we get to Peleg too? Have we read the Days of Peleg yet, or are we still on?
Hey, Gary, have you ever listened to Sean Griffin?
Sean Griffin. I've heard the name.
Kingdom in Context or something like that.
I've heard the name, but I don't know. Yeah, I can't.
He's got a whole breakdown on all that Nimrod stuff. I think you'd like it.
Oh yeah, okay. I'll have to check it out. Do you know of a video you'd want to watch in particular that's adjacent to what we're reading? Like, do you want to pull up a video of his right now since we're on Nimrod? We don't have to.
I can on my phone. I'm not that talented.
Well, I can.
I can't do it.
Okay.
But yeah, if you look, I don't know if he has any shorts or anything.
Let me look at it really quick. Where are we at? What verse are we on, Trevor?
Verse 10.
Verse 10. Okay. Well, how about you guys keep going? I'll see if I can pull up something on, what'd you say, Sean Griffin?
In the playoffs, you need to find...
Yep.
In the playoffs. Verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, and Erech, and Cad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar.
I think I've seen
Out
this
of that
kid
land
before.
went forth Asher, and builded Nineveh, and the city Rehoboth.
I have seen
and
this kid before,
Bala.
Cody.
All right, good.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah. He
so-
lost a debate to, I think it was like the Layman Seminary on Standing for Truth. Or at least I
Okay.
thought he lost anyway. Yeah.
Trevor, so what he's reading is super interesting to me because, like, it's talking about each kid that this guy had was an entire race of people.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's wild.
Like, yeah.
That's some powerful seed. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the first generations. Yeah, I'd imagine.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore.
Well, I mean, God did tell Abraham he would be the father of many sons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's just like, man, good stock. You know what I mean?
It'd have to be. It'd have to be. All right, what verse are we on, Mr. Trevor?
Verse 12. And
Okay, sorry, go on.
And reason between Nineveh and Calah, the same as a great city. And Mizraim begat Ludum, and Anamin, and Lahabim, and
Naphtuhim.
Naphtuhim.
Naphtuhim. It's like a
And-
cough. Naphtuhim. Yeah.
and
All right.
Pathrusim, and Casluhim, out of whom came Philistine, and Captorim.
Do you want me to
Verse
take over, or
15.
do you want me to, or do you want to keep going?
If you guys want Gary to read, you can read.
Well, you can keep reading. I'm just asking.
All right. Okay. 15. And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the
Girgasite.
Girgasite. Yeah, maybe you should. Verse 17.
Okay. Well, it'll be funny to watch me like go through these quickly and say them wrong, if nothing else. So, we got and the Hivite, and the Arkite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite, and afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. And
The Hamathite, is that what that said?
The Hamathite, yeah, the Hamathite. The Hamathite. We'll say that. I could be getting it horribly wrong, but I'm going to say it with confidence.
You should say it. You should say it with Hamathite.
The Hamathite. Yeah, that might be right, Trevor. I have no idea.
Emphasis on the ham part.
Right. Afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as thou comest to Gerar, unto Gaza, as thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah and Admah, and Zeboim, even unto Lasha. These are the sons of Ham after their families, after their tongues, in their countries, and in their nations. All right, let's see. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth, the elder, even to him were children born. The children of Shem, Elam, and Asher, and Arphaxad, and Lud, and Aram. And the children of Aram, Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. And Arphaxad begat Shelah, and Shelah begat Aber. And unto Aber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided. See, this is one of the verses that makes me think that these names are like symbolic, but I could be wrong about that because then why else have the qualifier? You know what I mean? But this seems to indicate that there was some big event where the earth was divided, but how? You know what I mean? Is this Pangea? Is this when the Tower of Babel happens? I don't know. So, So there's that.
Well, I would think that Pangea would have happened, like,
During the flood.
during all the catastrophic stuff, instead of after.
Yeah, I would too. But I don't know. I'm not sure what that means. And his brother's name was Joktan. And Joktan begat Almadad, and Shelef, and Hazarmaveth, and Jerah, and Hadaram, and Uzal, and Deglah, and Obal, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan, and their dwelling was from Mesha, as thou goest unto Sephir, a mount of the east. And these were the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, and their lands, after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood. And that is chapter 10.
Could you imagine if we tried naming our kids any of these?
Our children would hate us.
Our children would hate us.
Be like, you're not. Get very comfortable with being alone when you're old, Dad.
Yeah.
So,
like, Dad, why did you call me Abimael?
yeah. Some of these names are pretty cruel, though. Like, was it Jabez or something like that? Like miserable or something like that. Like somebody was so. One of the ladies was so mad that she gave birth to a kid. Like sometimes they would give names to these children that were just out of spite.
Like Diklah.
I don't know.
Diklah. Diklah.
What does
Declaw.
Jabez mean?
I kind of like Declaw.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I would hate it. I would hate to have a name like that. But I don't like Gary myself. Gary sounds really
And I don't know
lame.
that these are necessarily names as much as they are like
Places.
civilizations.
Yeah,
Well,
see, that's the thing. I'm
people
kind of with
groups.
you. I don't know if these these are actual names or if these are like groups or that's one of the things. Like the genealogies are always really hard for me to understand because I'm not sure
each
they're
of these
actual
sons-
people.
Each of these sons were given like portions of land and they took off and like built civilizations.
Mhm.
Yeah, they went out into the land and they was like, all right, this is my 20 acres or whatever, and we're gonna call it Uzal, and then the next person, brother or whatever, this is my 20 acres, and we're gonna call it Sheba,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of with you, Cody. I feel like there's more going on here. It seems very abbreviated.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, could have been literal, could be something else. Who knows? But
It's biblical. That's all we know.
well, the important thing is I don't think it's based on nothing. Like I don't think it's just made up, but I think it's like something like maybe, the way that they used to tell things because the first half of this is from what I understand before they had a language. So a lot of this is going to be based on oral tradition and the way from what I understand, of course I'm not a scholar on this, but from what I understand, the way that they would say things orally as they're around the campfire is different. So the names would mean things and everything was kind of symbolic and abbreviated because you had to remember it over a campfire so you could transfer the story down from generation to generation. Now that changed once they get into Egypt and they build the Hebrew language and they start trying to write all that down. But before that time, there wasn't really like a set language. Yeah, and so all the traditions were oral, and that kind of changes the way the stories were told. From what I understand, now I'm not an expert on that, but that's the theory I've heard. Anyway, and the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, we're on chapter 11 now, and that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said unto one another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime they had for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of the earth, and they left off to build the city. Therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. So this is like, the Tower of Babel, from what I understand. Like, the tradition of this is that Nimrod was kind of like the head guy, and this is like basically the first example of a one world government, and presumably it would have been very tyrannical, and it's kind of like the folklore of it is it's the first time men tried to set up a world government. So any thoughts? Anybody else heard anything about Babel?
That would have been interesting to see, people back then trying to build a tower. How tall do you know if they ever found it and figured out how tall that thing was?
No, I know the traditional depictions of it's a ziggurat, so it's kind of like those Mayan. Well, I shouldn't
I
say.
heard it was like actually tall enough to get to the firmament, and they were trying to break the firmament. That's the mythology that I've heard.
Huh. Well, let
We
me
might
look
have to
at.
look into that.
Let me look up depictions of.
But
the
it could have been a
Tower.
rocket, which
That would have
means
been interesting.
which means NASA is representative of Babylon.
I don't know if you'd have a rocket of brick and mortar, but that would be funny if nothing else. Maybe God broke up that language. Like, these guys are going to get themselves killed if we don't stop them. So
They're gonna get up there and they can't breathe anymore. Maybe
yeah.
I confuse them.
All right, ziggurat, I believe, is what it's called. So
Well,
these
that's
are the
cool.
these are the old depictions of it. So yeah.
I wonder what they would have used for material, like
Just said brick
Pieces
and
of-
mortar,
brick and mortar.
Yeah, they had slime for mortar.
Slime.
Yeah, so yeah, there we are. So that's that.
Interesting.
It is.
Quite.
All right.
I want to visit a ziggurat now.
You want to visit a ziggurat? And these are... Okay, so we ended at 9, right? Yeah, okay. So, and these are the generations of Shem. So the Lord scattered them abroad upon the face of all the earth. These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years and begat sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 35 years and begat Salah. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Salah 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years and begat Eber. And Salah lived after he begat Eber 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 30 years and begat Peleg. And Eber lived after he begat Peleg 430 years and begat sons and daughters. And Peleg lived 30 years and begat Ru. And Peleg lived after he begat Ru and 209 years and begat sons and daughters. And Ru lived 30 years and begat Serug. And Ru lived after he begat Serug 207 years. He begat sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years and begat Nahor. And Serug lived after he begat Nahor 200 years and begat sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 29 years and begat Terah. And Nahor lived and begat Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begat Lot. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of his nativity, in Ur of the Chaldees. And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, and the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah, and the father of Iscah. And Sarai was barren, she had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot, the sons of Haran, his son's sons, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son, Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan, and they came unto Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. So
that's where we start.
Riveting stuff.
That's the last genealogy. So
Riveting stuff.
I think it's actually quite interesting. I just wish I knew what any of it meant. It's like,
Yeah.
I know there's a whole lot of things, like information that we just don't have. And I wish we had it, but we don't. So
Yeah.
it's like, I don't even know where to look all of this up.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it's just a simple setup of where Abraham came from.
Yeah, it's building up to Abraham for sure. But
'Cause, I mean, and it would explain where the thousands and thousands of people all over the earth came from.
mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, how many kids do you think you could have in 400 years?
A lot.
And, this only picked out just kind of Abraham's bloodline, basically.
Yeah, it's only focusing on one. Yeah, I mean, you could get a lot of people. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But
It's the
yeah.
Jewish bloodline. That's what it's concentrating on.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, okay. We got 24 minutes. We're trying to make it even 30. So we will start with 12. Now the Lord said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Okay, so this isn't the covenant that's establishing the Jewish people yet, for the record. That comes later. That's after Melchizedek. But this is like an initial, I'm going to give you a land and everybody's going to be blessed through you type thing. So I don't know. Well, I guess you would say it's a prelude to the covenant that's coming, you might say.
Oh.
But, this isn't like the official, I will make thee a great nation. So you might say that maybe that could be it. But it goes into more detail later. So, and it's also possible that this is kind of like abbreviating what happened too. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but as we've been reading, it'll tell you what's going to happen, like in an abbreviated version, and then it'll say the same story again, but go into more detail. Like, we've seen that a couple times already, I feel like. So that might be what's happening here again. Just spitballing. But this isn't the full, like, statement of the covenant yet. But this is, I guess I'd say a prelude or an abbreviated version of it.
Yeah, prelude sounds good.
Yeah. So, and I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him, and Abram of 75 years old, and Abram was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. And Abram took Sarai his wife, and Lot his brother's son, and all their substance that they had gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran, and they went forth to go into the land of Canaan, and into the land of Canaan they came. And Abram passed through the land unto the place of Shechem, unto the place of Morah, and the Canaanite was then in the land. And the Lord appeared unto Abram and said, Unto thee unto thy seed will I give this land. And there builded he an altar unto the Lord, who appeared unto him. And he removed from thence unto a mountain on the east of Bethel, and pitched his tent, having Bethel on the west, and Hai on the east. And there he builded an altar unto the Lord, and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed, going on still toward the south. And there was a famine in the land, and Abram went down into Egypt to sojourn there, for the famine was grievous in the land. And it came to pass, when he was near to enter unto Egypt, that he said unto Sarai his wife, Behold, I know that thou art a fair woman to look upon. Therefore it shall come to pass, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, This is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. So I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may... I pray thee, thou art my sister, that it may be well with me for thy sake, and my soul shall live because of thee. And it came to pass that, when Abram come into Egypt, the Egyptians beheld the woman, that she was very fair. The princes also of Pharaoh saw her, and commended her before Pharaoh, and the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. And he entered, and he entreated Abraham well for her sake, and he had sheep and oxen, and he asses, and men servants, and maid servants, and she asses, and camels. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues, because of Sarai, Abram's wife. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, What is this thou hast done unto me? Why didst thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Why saidst thou, She is my sister, so I might have taken her to me to wife? Now therefore, behold thy wife, take her, and go thy way. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away, and his wife, and all that he had.
So, how did Pharaoh find out? Because it doesn't really say. How did he find out that she was Abram's wife?
Because he was cursed.
Yeah, the plagues.
Was it because of the curse?
He figured it out.
Yeah, the implication here in this section anyway is that because of the plagues, he realized that, God was mad at him. And it was like...
They were in tune with their karma back then, man.
Yeah. They knew what God was.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So there's that. Any other thoughts, gentlemen?
Let's just play that out. So, if you're Abram, and you go into Egypt, and you're like, they're gonna think she's beautiful, and take her from me. So I'm gonna call her my sister instead. They're gonna take her anyways.
It's like the fearful thing to do.
Why didn't he just stick with his wife?
Because he didn't want to stand up and be a man.
Yeah, it was a poor choice on his part.
Just a simple fear thing. And it wound up being a whole.
But see, this is one of the reasons why I'm so big on unconditional covenants, though, because every time God introduces a covenant, or a prelude in this case, let's say, the story immediately jumps into something bad that the character did.
Yeah.
It's like God does this miraculous thing, and these people have this like spiritual high, and then next thing you know, they're making this terrible decision, and it's like this constant tension between God reaching out to people and people being stupid. It's kind of one of the big reasons I believe in an unconditional covenant. So,
I see.
And you'll see this, I think, multiple times as we go on.
Oh yeah, it happens over and over and over again.
Yep. So there's that. Well, gentlemen, that's 32 minutes. I think we've done our duty on this one, and that's 3 chapters through. We've been booking last couple weeks. Good for us.
Thank you.
Nice.
So next week...
And I've been checking the live stream. We still sound good.
Sweet. That's nice. All right, well, we're going to be on chapter 13 next week. So if you are watching us on the live stream, stay with us. We've got another segment left. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Later.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.